Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are back playing Genshin and we are continuing with the 5.6 Archon Quest Interlude Paralogism. Last time we found out that Albedo was on trial for murder and unlawful disposal of human remains, and he was found guilty. We are doing our best to investigate whether or not he actually is guilty and hopefully submitting an appeal on his behalf. We investigated his office last time and we found some stuff that doesn't look great for his case. In fact, it makes it look like he really is guilty of what he did, but we have some locations marked on a map. Two of them we discussed during the trial, and the last one was not discussed during the trial, so we are going to go check out that location today. So let's get started. Alright, up we go. Oh, hello. Shout out this quest for helping my Dragonspine exploration.
We should be getting close.
Although everything is covered in snow, as a seasoned adventurer, you notice a spot on the ground that looks quite different from its surroundings. You remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body. But the hole is completely empty and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this or some monster?
Weird. There's a hole, but no body. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies. But this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole? Or smooth out the ground like the other places?
One person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was this location marked in his notes? Ugh. You're back. Did you find anything?
Yeah, but none of it helps Albedo's case.
I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. Did he submit an appeal? Yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still questions surrounding the identities of the victims and the disappearance of the bodies. The minimal remains that were uncovered have been sent out for forensic analysis, which should provide some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
If the victims turn out to be Mondstadt citizens, the situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial would likely have to be open to the public. And I doubt public sentiment will be in Albedo's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just stay positive.
Yeah, Lumine, looking at you. Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. I feel like it's good that he asked for a retrial because he really believes that he's innocent. Or at least believes that he can pull off making everyone else believe that he's innocent. What is Miles up to? He's been super sneaky. I wonder if Miles is like involved with Albedo somehow. If he's hiding things or dragging bodies or... I don't know.
We should meet up with Jean. It's about time for the second trial.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now convene for the second trial against Mr. Albedo. I, Jean Gunhilder, will once again oversee the proceedings. Representatives on both sides remain unchanged, and Mr. Dahlia will continue to serve as the assessor. Ms. Herta represents the prosecution, and Mr. Kaya speaks on behalf of the defense. The defendant in this case is Mr. Albedo, captain of the investigation team. With that, I now bring this trial to order. Ms. Herta, have the investigators made any new discoveries?
Yes. We sent the teeth and the femur bone found at the scene to the church's medical office, and were able to conclude that these are, in fact, human remains. In addition, the investigators were able to identify several Mondstadt citizens who appear to have been missing for quite some time. Forensic analysis of the remains allowed us to pinpoint the age and gender of the deceased. Interestingly, one of the missing individuals matches that profile to a T. The medical office couldn't spare the personnel, so Miss Rosaria is here to present the results to the court.
Hanselman, male, 46 years old, marital status single, occupation hunter. Consistent with the conclusion in the last trial, his disappearance went unreported, likely due to his lack of relatives. In addition, medical records show that he sustained a mechanism-related injury to his leg 3 years ago. The damage on the femur bone Mr. DeLuke found is consistent with such an injury. Therefore, we can conclude that one of the victims in this case is Hanselman. A specialized technique was likely used to accelerate the rate of decomposition.
Is it reasonable to assume this technique to be
so
alchemical in nature?
Alchemical or magical, both are possible.
Thank you for your testimony.
Oh, this looks so
The identity of one of the victims is now confirmed. But what about the defendant's motive?
Yeah, how are these two
Considering
linked?
what he wrote in the letter, we can deduce that the defendant needed subjects for an alchemy experiment. Who better than individuals whose disappearance would go unnoticed?
That's a good point.
In other words, he sacrificed the good people of Mondstadt for his own gain. A truly vile act. In addition, another witness has agreed to testify. Miss Donna, if you would.
Another one, huh?
Wait, Donna from the flower shop?
Are we about to find out why she's changed?
I'm sorry it took so long for me to come forward. But the night Master DeLuke saw Mr. Albedo, I was there too. I was camping with a friend and we decided to stop near Dragonspine. I couldn't really get comfortable that night, so around dawn, I decided to go for a walk. And that's when I saw Master DeLuke. I thought it might be nice to, chat. So I headed in his direction and then I saw it. Someone at the bottom of the cliff was getting rid of a body.
Oh,
I was terrified the person might see me. Even after I fled, I couldn't
oh
shake
no!
that fear.
Oh, that's so
And I
sad.
started to wish I never had a crush on Master DeLuke in the first place. If I hadn't wanted to talk to him, I would never have been in that situation. Well, I didn't want to come forward because I was scared. But Miss Hertha convinced me it was the right thing to do. I'm sorry it took me so long.
I see. Just stepping forward was brave enough, Miss Donna. The court thanks you for your courage and commitment to justice.
Yes. Thank you.
Is her crush reignited now?
Two witnesses corroborate the same sequence of events. That just leaves the question of how the defendant disposed of the bodies.
I believe the answer lies in the alchemical technique mentioned in the letter. The defendant is the most accomplished alchemist in Mondstadt. He has the skill, no question.
A special investigator also uncovered some relevant evidence on that subject. I will now present it to the court.
Wait, does she mean...
Oh no, don't use that! I was just kidding, haha. The following are pieces of evidence uncovered in Mr. Albedo's office, the most important of which is this map. Oh no! We just threw him under the bus so bad. The markings correspond with the description in the letter and the locations of the crime scenes. Does this map belong to you? Yes. Were you the one who marked these locations? Yes. You do realize that's basically an admission of guilt, don't you? The evidence against you is nearly insurmountable. No. Since you uncovered that compartment, I might as well expound on the matter.
We have witnesses and physical evidence. What could you possibly say in your defense?
Please say something good. I never killed a single person.
You have some nerve. Saying that when the evidence is stacked against you?
What? That sounds so like such a calculated answer. Like he did something else, but he didn't kill them. I will not admit to something I didn't do.
So, what? You're just going to bombard the court with excuses?
That's a rather dismissive way to refer to an innocent man speaking in his own defense. Besides, I'm not making excuses, I'm exercising patience.
That won't make the charges against you disappear, Mr. Albedo.
Perhaps not, but patience comes with its own reward. It's easy for things to remain buried in snow until someone comes along and brushes it away. Does that really mean he didn't do anything untoward? He mentioned brushing off the snow. Is that supposed to be a hint? If it was a hint, then it must have something to do with Dragonspine, which reminds me, one of the locations marked on the map was in Dragonspine, wasn't it? Traveler, you were the one who uncovered the notes, right? Then I'm assuming you visited the third location marked on the map as well. Yes? Can you tell us what you found? You nod your head and give an honest account of the scene you found on Dragonspine. Whatever was kept in the hole was gone, and the surrounding area bore the markings of an unknown creature. With everything covered in snow, no one knew there was something to discover in the first place.
Then, there must also have been a body.
I need to think about this. What clues am I missing? First location marked as near Mondstadt. Beatrice saw Albedo use alchemy to dig a hole and bury a body there. A single men's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes nearby. Taking together, this evidence seems to suggest that Albedo killed someone and concealed the body. The second marked location is between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery, where Diluc saw Albedo bury the body of an adult male. Diluc described nearly the same events as Beatrice. There's no reason for them to collude against Albedo, so their testimony should be trustworthy. Diluc found teeth and a femur bone at the scene, and Donna confirmed his version of events because she was also there that night. The two should have no reason to set Albedo up. Despite her crush, Donna wouldn't lie about something like that just to get Diluc's attention. Not to mention, Donna has been acting strange since before the trial. According to the forensic results, the teeth and femur bone belonged to a Mondstadt citizen, and the witness accounts suggest that Albedo was the last person to come into contact with his body. Did Albedo really use alchemy to reduce the body to a few bones, and does that mean he's the killer? The third marked location is in Dragonspine. We only knew about it because we found the map in the hidden compartment. During our investigation, Paimon and I discovered a hole beneath the snow big enough to hide a human body. There were also claw marks around the outside, but there was no body or any remains whatsoever. Albedo marked these 3 locations on the map found in the hidden compartment. There are some similarities and differences between them. Based on what we know, all 3 locations were likely used to hide bodies. The holes dug in each area certainly seemed big enough. But unlike the first 2 locations, there were claw marks around the hole in the third location, and no witnesses saw anything happen there. Dragonspine is home to all manner of monsters and wild animals. Could some kind of creature have dug up the body? But why wasn't that the case in the other locations? The marks didn't look fresh, which means the hole at the third location has been there longer than the other 2. But if the hole at the third location wasn't made around the same time, does that mean it's connected to a separate incident? Ugh. Dragonspine has a frigid climate and is covered in snow all year round. Even so, it's home to various monsters and creatures that can withstand the cold. Deep within the mountain lies the remains of an even more mysterious creature, Durin. Although the dragon has been dead for a long time, he still possesses a peculiar life energy. Now that I think about it, a lot of strange things have happened on Dragonspine. Most people know Albedo as an alchemist and the captain of the investigation team, but in truth he's the Cried Prince, a synthetic human created by one of the 5 sinners, Rhine-daughter. Albedo is steadfast, intelligent, and treats everyone with kindness and respect. I think most people would agree with that assessment. He's also a calculated thinker. It's fair to say that if he did commit a crime, it would likely be well concealed. Up until now, Albedo has never displayed any ill will towards humanity, and he also still seems like his normal self. As his friend, I shouldn't reveal the truth about his identity. That would only make things worse for him. I almost forgot. Paimon and I once encountered someone on Dragonspine who looked exactly like Albedo, and we weren't the only ones. I'm guessing Albedo has a plan, so I should help him out. But what does he want me to do? Announce a break in the case? No, I should play it safe. Since I made an honest assessment of the facts, I should be honest about my doubts too. It's only fair. Besides, I think I understand what Albedo was trying to tell me just now. I'd like to address the court if I may. I was the one who investigated the office, and I believe the results raise a few questions. Regarding the 2 cases addressed in the previous trial, it was established that, after disposing of the bodies, the defendant used alchemy to restore the ground to its original state. But that wasn't the case at the third location. The hole was still there with the dirt scattered around the perimeter. It looked more like something had been dug up. If this was all done by one person, why wasn't the third scene given the same treatment as the others? Why weren't the traces removed? In addition, the markings around the third location weren't fresh, which suggests that the Dragonspine incident happened at a different time. For those reasons, I believe there's still reasonable doubt in this case, and I hope the verdict reflects that. Thank you. Astute as ever.
Questions there may be.
Okay.
But allow me to point out, there is no evidence to suggest that anyone
Maybe
besides the defendant
the third,
knew about
I guess,
the third
Albedo
location.
at this point.
And the map was found in his notes.
He must have something to do with this other Albedo. He's like chasing him down or something. I don't know.
That fact alone makes him the most plausible suspect. Unless Mr. Albedo suddenly plans to deny that the map belongs to him.
Allow me to respond to the traveler's point. If all I cared about was proving my innocence, I would indeed do as you described, Miss Herta, and deny any connection to that map. But that is not what I intend to do. The map does belong to me, and I did hide things at those 3 locations.
What?
There were indeed bodies at each location, and I did kill and bury someone on Dragonspine.
Ha! So you admit it. Let the record reflect that the defendant has confessed to his crimes.
You're mistaken, Miss Herta. The story doesn't end there. Eula knows. Some time ago, I encountered an uninvited guest on Dragonspine, someone who wanted to take advantage of the deserted nature of the region and eliminate me in secret. His desire to kill me led to an altercation where I killed him instead and buried the body on the mountain, the 3rd location marked on the map.
Actually, the traveler Amber Bennett and I were with Albedo that day. The Adventurers Guild was holding an event on Dragonspine. After it ended, we all left the area. If the person Albedo is referring to is different from the one we encountered on the mountain, then the altercation must have occurred after we left.
This only proves that the defendant is guilty on all counts. Those innocent people, their blood
Did he
is
not
on
just
your
say that
hands.
that person attacked him first and then he killed them? I think you are not listening. You're wrong.
You deny it? After admitting to murder for the whole court to hear? You've clearly lost your
Oh my gosh,
mind.
please drag her, do something. If you would let me finish, Miss Herta, I could get to the important part. The man who attacked me on Dragonspine was my height, with blonde hair and blue eyes, dressed in clothes nearly identical to mine. So someone who happens to look exactly like you? Exactly like him. So I was right, it does come back to what happened back then.
It's one thing to look similar, but for the clothes to be the same?
What's going on? I don't want to be here anymore.
Regardless, the important thing is that you admit to killing
Oh my
someone
gosh,
on
just let him
Dragonspine.
finish explaining. She's driving me crazy. I killed someone that day, someone who looked nearly identical to me, but I never said that someone was a person. Yeah, it was a whopper flower. I see. Then it appears I need to withdraw my testimony.
What?
Everyone! I brought her!
Wait, you...
The person who just came in, isn't that Hertha?
What's going on?
Who are you?
Oh my
Why
gosh.
do you wear my face? Hello to you too.
As you can see, this is Herta, the logistics captain of the Knights of Favonius.
I see what's going on here. It's all been leading up to this, hasn't it? Your confession. It was all an elaborate stunt to set me up. You want to undermine my credibility? Fine. It doesn't eliminate the mountain of evidence stacked against you. All I want is justice for the people of Mondstadt.
Order in the court. I've been stationed on Dragonspine all these years because that is where the subject of my research lies, the dragon Durin. Several hundred years ago, the Dragon of the East, Tavalin, defeated Durin in battle and, with help from Barbados, sealed his remains on Dragonspine. Durin was created through alchemy, one of the finest specimens of artificial life. As such, death was not a true end for him. His heart still beats and grows more revitalized by the day. My impostor on Dragonspine was a failed specimen abandoned in Durin's stomach, an unsuccessful iteration of the homunculus project.
Homunculus?
Are you trying to insinuate that I'm some kind of... homunculus? Because it looks to me like the artificial one is standing right there. Some kind of imposter you dragged in from Dragonspine. So this is what I look like when I fly off the handle. You know, they say imitation is the best form of flattery, but your impersonation has overstayed its welcome. Master Jean, what are you waiting for? We've known each other for so long. You recognize the real me, don't you?
The two of you look identical, but judging based on demeanor, the new arrival actually seems more like the Hurt that I know.
That means nothing! By that logic, I could just as easily accuse the Albedo in this room of being an imposter! How do we know he isn't the fake one? A cold-blooded killer who replaced the real Albedo long ago! Then, how about something only the real Hertha would know? The longest scar on my body. The knights who fought alongside me that day should remember where it is.
I remember. Let's hear your answer.
I'd like to hear Miles' answer first.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
You don't know? Or you don't remember? I heard you've been acting strange these days. Disoriented? Confused? You were closer to me than anyone during that battle. And yet you don't remember a thing. Strange indeed.
No, my head. It hurts.
The scar is right here.
Why the nerves? I can't imagine this comes as a surprise. Unless your informant in the Knights of Favonius failed to mention the scar on his left arm.
Albedo has done a lot of research into beings like you. If you deny it, then show us your arm.
No need to panic, you can just add it now. You excel at changing your appearance, don't you? Or, I should say, all spawn of Durin's life force have that ability. A powerful life force, an appearance you can change at will, yet here you stand, formless one, paralyzed to act, because you're worried using that power could affect your accomplices. Accomplices? The Miles must be one of them. There are others too. Most of the beings under the influence of Durin's life force have gathered here, and yet their presence is what impedes her from taking action. Once you attempt to transform, all who surround you will be affected by your power. You can't control it because in this network of living beings, you serve as the core.
Show us your arm. Ugh! Have it your way!
Whoa!
Oh!
Come on, let's go.
Hey, they're shielding the imposter!
She's trying to get away. Stop her. Don't let anyone stand in your way.
There are others trying to get in. Must be
Oh
more
my gosh.
people under her control.
How many people did she get? Time to get moving, everyone.
Whoa! She just leaped across the room!
After her!
It's time. All units move out. Third company, keep on the imposter's tail. We finally have a chance to talk, but before I explain the events of the past few days, I'd like to make a few things clear. First, I never killed any of my fellow citizens, and I never used human remains as part of an alchemical experiment. Second, the events of the past few days were all a part of a plan. Most of the members of our order were in on it. As for the witnesses, Master Diluc picked up on the situation long before today's proceedings. That's a plan. Oh boy.
What? How are there monsters in the city?
They're all monsters from Dragonspine. An attack is imminent, but fear not, we've been preparing for this. We've been monitoring the resurgence of Durin's life force. Its festering nature agitated these monsters. We knew it was only a matter of time before they advanced on Mondstadt. And so we made preparations for an inevitable battle. I was hoping you two could join me and provide assistance in the battle to come.
Of course! Where's our first stop?
The top of the city wall.